Unless you've thrown them out there and come over the actual rate, it's from the distance, isn't it? Yeah. How far and how That's happening environment, isn't it?
Young Tom from Yardley. Now this brings a whole new concept to the word. Mum, can I use the whatever? Well, usually it would be, Mum, can I use the car please? In this case, Mum, can I use your puller please? Yes, a slightly unusual piece of machinery in that the engine is officially designated as being a 380 cargo. However, it is not, or not quite as we know it, because Ford gave a pile of cargoes to a company called Sabre Marine and said, build us the ultimate marine engine based on our truck engine. So they did. This is one of 12 that were produced. Huge major bank pump. The amount of work that's gone on inside the engine is quite extraordinary. Extra oil-ways, journals, it's just scary. And the twin turbochargers, by the way, are standard. They were fitted by Sabre. You have twin turbochargers and they are in tandem. You have a big low pressure one followed by a smaller high pressure one. And I can actually tell you its brake horsepower at the engine shaft. And that's, I believe in the case of that one, it's 541 brake horsepower. The reason we know that is because they were still in the crates. They've been crated up, having been dynoed, and each crate had the dyno results stamped. Actually, stapled on the crate. DDR. Dave and Dave Bloom. This is Dave Lee Jr. And this is Running Wild. Nice puller, Dave. Running Wild, new puller here. I believe had its first outing last weekend. The other new puller, essentially from more or less the same stable, is Dingle's Lady Deborah. Marriage record 2. Wheelsel driving. We're back down to familiar territory. We're talking, I believe, a 380 cargo. One of 3 pullers you have the original marriage record, which is V8 Perkins. Marriage record 2, which is a straight 6. And you have Mooch's Boys. All the pullers come from Cinderford down in the Forest of Dean. Wheels with pointing the wheels in one who buys brand new tyres and then promptly goes off and planes the tread off for one very good reason. Because he does not want too much grip. Too much grip for a tractor puller is potential death of the back end. Jeremy Nugent comes from Gillingham in Dorset. 2007 C&H Genesis, that's Case New Holland engine, 7.5 litres. Yes, it's got rotary metal injection, big turbo, well-opened fuel pump. It also has a centrifugal clutch. Originally it ran with a Crowd Glide, made by Crowd in America, competition clutch. He's now got an Avon Cams version of the clutch, basically a replica, if you like. And he's thinking, well, what makes centrifugal clutch different? Well, the answer is, at low speed it works normally, just engages and disengages. However, once you build the engine revs up beyond a certain point and let the clutch off, nothing happens. The reason for that is because there is a series of bob weights that are linked to a finger, and as the centrifugal force pushes the bob weights out, so the finger presses the clutch in, or the fingers plural, which means the clutch will not actually engage until the engines hit optimal revs. It also means when the clutch engages, it does so very gradually, so it saves ripping the back end out of the tractor. HMS Engineering. It's Mark Hale, who, along with Adrian Spooner, run HMS Engineering. If you haven't heard of them, you've certainly seen them, because they were the engineering expertise behind Scrapping Challenge, Motormorphers, and a number of other shows. They're the people that stop the competitors actually killing themselves. Mark Hale! Yep, tis Perkins power. Turbocharged. And that's not all. I just had a quick word with Mark and said it's going well. He said, yep. They said, something special is happening at 4 o'clock. So, of course I say, what? He said, no, you'll know, but he said, he said, I'll tell you about it afterwards. So we have got 2 hours and 4 minutes to find out what this something special is. But since it's Mark Hale, I would imagine it could be quite interesting and possibly incredibly spectacular. By the way, if you keep hearing loud bangs and followed by whistling noise around the showground, it's their Vortex cannon. Marriage wrecker. Will's driving again. Will's always having all the fun today. But I'm guessing brake are otherwise engaged.
Oh yeah, maybe it comes up. Oh, it would be. Well, if they get up there,
Wurzel driving Marriage Wrecker, normally aspirated, Perkins Grove 540, and points down here actually. If is somewhere up there within earshot, I'd like to follow him for 2 minutes down on the filling track, please. So, Owen, if you're within earshot,
they got that much pressure on, and they're almost.
Could I possibly follow you for 5 minutes down on the filling track?
What it does is the friction increases on the ground. It's not weight loss, so it's more than tons of it. It slows in. It's harder for it to pull.
I mentioned the 3 pillars from Cinderford. The Marriage Wrecker 2, and the third, just going down the track, it is Hooch's Boys, but first to hitch is going to be Martin Eady. And this roadless conversion is still a conversion in build, because he's got the front axle, he actually has the drive shaft, but what is missing is the sandwich that needs to go in to allow the drive from the drivetrain to be fed through to the front axle. And it's also very confusing because I'm just looking over there, we have 2 Ian Wiltons here. Yes. I will try and wheedle something out of him if I possibly can. But you know that it being Mark Hale, and if Mark is involved, it's probably HMS Engineering. It's going to be, if he says it's going to be spectacular, then trust him, he knows. Martin Eady, as you can see, the front axle, although it's a conversion, is not actually doing anything. Wheels are just rolling around, wheels are just rolling around. Well done, Martin, comes from Llandovery, one of a number of players from that neck of the woods. You've got Martin Eady, Robbie Jones, Welsh Robbie, and David Davis.
Some of them are quite heavily modified. Well, it is, but it's all a bit of a con, really, because it ain't technically. Well, they were all oh, right.
Just by the by, sorry, yeah, I now have a bit of an idea of what might be going on. It's definitely worth being here at 4 o'clock. That is Adam Best, that is Jungle Juice, and it's smoking. But you'll notice it only smokes when the engine really comes on load, and that's when it starts overfueling.
Huh?
Well, we're right here. You've got your ticket.
Yeah, there's some on the end here. What you got?
From Cinderford driving Butcher's Boys, freighter cargo, named after a gentleman called, they used to call him Billy Mooch, Billy Edwards.
If you were going to make it like this, you'd have loads of weight on the front end. That's what happens when it's the wheels on the front end, they come up.
Probably running on 7 or 8 meters.
So Matt just taking Mark's puller down. According to our calculations, that was Mooch's Boys pulling. I don't know where Flat Out was hiding, but we reckon that Mark should be there or thereabouts. I just saw it, maybe she didn't.
They stop and they look at it and stop. They feel it's going to be going no further.
Interesting pull, actually. Tell you a bit more about it in a moment.
If they've got too much of it, like I was saying, just break the back axle.
time. The Mistress, Zeta Crystal, 8011, but the original engine has gone and been replaced by Perkins 6354 that actually came out of I believe, a combine harvester. Sorry, Ashley is the guy who's driving.
What are they doing up there? Taking pictures, isn't it?
Well, they jumped down afterwards.
Yeah?
On the road,
Matt is about to come on the track with Mark Hale's puller. Turbocharged. Perkins V8. It's got a lovely mark to it, this engine. But it's now going to have to go back, park up, and wait until it cools down, because that engine is getting quite warm. If you're wondering why, it's very simple. The radiators inside there are the original Forza Major ones, which are nowhere near man enough for the big engines that are being put behind it.
Huh?
When you think about it, the Forza Major, its Zenith, the biggest engine was 49 brake horsepower. But admittedly it was a straight six, but
see which
now we're putting much bigger straight sixes in there that are producing hundreds of brake horsepower for dirty great Perkins. And the problem is, of course, the radiator is not capable of handling that amount of heat that's being generated. So the end result, of course, is if they don't park up and leave them for half an hour, 20 minutes to cool down, the engine is still so hot that when it goes out, the water will boil, and then you run a serious risk of actually seizing the engine, which is not recommended. Stewie's puller, but I don't believe it's Stewie driving. A little nothing with laser terror engine in there. The oversized radiator, by the way, came off of Ransom's combine. The reason it's there is because before it became a puller, the tractor worked on the farm pumping water day in, day out.
Yeah.
Hence the oversized radiator to keep the engine cool.
Come back here.
Gareth Jones having another run with flat out. Perkins 540, married to who originally thought it was the Leyland 272. But a man who knows Leylands has looked and said, no, that's actually a Marshall 702 back end, which is even better because that is very strong. And incidentally, if you're looking for a puller, or thinking of building one, a roundabout offers in excess of 2,500 would probably secure you a ready-built one. And all you have to do is do a little bit of fettling, add a bit of tip work, and you have yourself a nice piece of machinery. And it does work really rather well. Admittedly, as you noticed, the weights that are just in front of the front wheels, the back wheels, could actually be shifted across to the front of the puller to keep the front end down, because unless you're very skilled on rear wheel steering, it's always handy if the front wheels are in contact with the track. Alex Wilson, as you probably remember, just less than half an hour ago, Alex had a pull, and there was a loud pop as the boost pipe flew off. Doesn't matter, happened all the time. So a little bit of adjustment and tightening of a Jubilee clip, good as new. Interesting puller in several ways. But the first thing you need to know is it is called, and you'll see why in a moment, it is called Piping Hot. Alex Wilson. That was a bit abrupt as it wound down. The pump, by the way, is of course intentional. It's a Scottish puller, and the Scottish national instrument is the bagpipe. And if you look at that engine, the pipe work for the exhaust manifold is beautiful. Every single one of those sections going into the main joint is exactly the same length as the other. Impressive. That's really good engineering. And the other thing I ought to tell you, by the way, Alex has actually made a modification which completely bypasses the gearbox. So he has, potentially he can put the drive from the input shaft directly to the differential, totally bypassing the gearbox. And also the 12-speed gearbox has been modified. It now only has 6 currently. He also has a set of 40k gears in there, but when the tractor was being put back together again, what happened was sadly the 40k gears slipped sideways a bit. And so instead of the teeth meshing perfectly, they're actually only meshing on the tips. So he can't use it. That is just a recipe for taking 600 quid's worth of gears and wrecking them. Alex!
You on about 4 hours?
did see things flying out of the cab, and one of them was a small 3/8 socket drive. Yes, he had issues with his pin, so he took it away and carefully fettled it, and so that it would slide in and out nice and easily. Unfortunately, that last jerk was a wee bit too much, and the towing pin is now banana shaped, which is sorry, I should have warned you about that, yeah. Which is why they're having a hell of a job getting it out. It won't. Okay. Look, they've actually had to take the hitch plate off so that they could try and beat the pin out of it. You can see, look in there, there's the hitch plate which mounts onto an adjustable frame, and they're desperately trying to beat the pin out. Worst case scenario, of course, is James got the gas bottle, just cut the pin off. No, we're off, we're released. Ah.
How are you? How are you, buddy?
Will the pin actually come out now? No chance. Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh, cool. How you doing, old mate?
From the really nice hitch system, you can see it there, that's the actual hitch. It mounts on basically a U-channel so that you can adjust up and down, and then you've got 3 hitch points on the actual hitch itself. Really clever design, wonderfully simple, very elegant and terribly effective. Up until you bend the pin. So, I don't know whether the answer is a lot of heat and big hammers, or the answer is something different. Well, it definitely has a turbo, because I can hear a whistle. The only problem is that as of this moment in time, I have that was not Tony Prout. And Mea culpa, I have no idea who it was. But on the same token, I do know what that is, sat down there, and that is going to do your eardrums very serious mischief. And I have one piece of advice I can give you when it comes up the track. And you think I'm joking, ask anybody from the Royal Armoured Corps or the Royal Artillery. You put your fingers in your ears and open your mouth. That stops your eardrums from being damaged. You may look like a goldfish, but looking silly is far better than actually having to go to the doctor and saying, I've gone deaf in one ear. At which point the doctor will look at you and say, pardon. It is Andy Stevens. The puller is called Pico. It is very, very, very noisy. It's also he's not being unfair, he does have to spool the engine down. Now, I'm going to, once the stage is gone,
A year, mind you, passed in August.
you saw it, you heard it. As it went past, did you feel it? Pumping in the stomach. Because what that is that horrendous noise is actually a series of supersonic shock waves, because the exhaust gas is coming out of the engine, because it's a two-stroke with a supercharger, actually come out supersonically, and the bangs are actually a series of little sonic booms, which is why when the puller goes past you can actually feel it in the pit of your stomach. It's a very strange feeling. Not unpleasant, but strange. Gareth, look here.
Huh?
Gareth,
Go.
look here.
When am I done?
Otherwise,
In a minute.
Dingle. A new puller, one he's just built. It's, yep, for the petrol heads, Sherwood Block Chevy. Lady Deborah Fox. Very lively. Five bits of meters. 150 inches. Like all these bigger engines, when Diggle stops, he actually has to gently spool the engine down to stop it getting too hot for the engine. Now, what I would say is, if you can join us tonight, as the light goes down, you see things you cannot see during the daytime. And last night, we were standing there, the exhaust manifolds were glowing orange through to cherry red. That is quite impressive. That's a lot of energy being expended, because that engine is actually working flat out. I must admit, I'm not familiar with the Rochester carb. Hollies I know, but Rochesters I don't. But apparently Rochesters are favoured by people with Chevys. Unless of course you're going classic drags, in which case the big Holly 4-barrel carb is the way to go. Having said that, Hollies are also rather expensive, a bit like Stella Artois. Refreshingly expensive. The mistress. And the mistress is actually a decision for this one. Let's see over. With a Perkins 6354 engine that came out of a Massey combine harvester. Ashley driving. I can tell because Ashley is the taller of the two.